Yeah. How many days have I had this? 3? Well, guys, yeah, she started pretty good when I first got her, but now she seems to want to not start all the time. Yesterday she left me on the side of the road, halfway stranded. Had to use a Kickstarter. She's got a Kickstarter down there. Had to use that to get her to go. Came home, charged the battery for a couple of hours, put her back on, and of course had a little more power to spin the motor. But she just doesn't want to kick over. Now when we got it, the guy showed me to give it just a little bit of gas when you're starting it, which I did. But I don't know, yesterday kind of threw me when I was on the side of the road, and this thing just basically died right out in the middle of the road. What I did find a loose connection on the battery when I got home. Basically the negative side was just screwed in by finger tight, and if even that. So I think that's maybe why it died on the side of the road. But anyway, the engine's underneath this cover here. Looks like 4 bolts takes it off. Maybe a couple more in the front, but I'll figure that out. And I might just get into this enough to where it'll get me in trouble. But I do know enough to, once I get over my head, get an expert involved. But there's things I'm going to check. I'm going to check the spark plug, see what that looks like. Check the coil for spark. Check the air filter. If that's plugged, that'll change the fuel mixture, because this is a 2-stroke. It's got an automatic oil mixer on it. Some little things like that. So I'm going to see how far I'm going to dig into it, how much work it's going to be. There are parts available. Shoot, I can get cylinder heads, pistons, rings, coils. I can get clutches and belts for it, brakes and tires, things like that. Might be some small little pieces that aren't available anymore. But anyway, I'm going to take it apart and just see how much work it'll be to get things going on this, and if I can solve the problem. If not, I'll probably send it down to an expert and and get it checked out there. Oh, and I've got my massive toolkit here to help me do it too, so I can only get in so much trouble, I guess. Yeah, 4 bolts, and look how easy this was. Haha, there's everything I need to get at right there. And like before that we looked at, shoot, I tell you, this thing here is pretty clean underneath here. Here's the air filter, we'll check that out. I can get to the spark plug here, there's the coil. So yeah, let's get into it, guys. Heck, the air filter looks pretty darn good. I'll take it out and take a look at the bottom side. Doesn't seem to be full of oil. Oh, that's clean as a whistle. They just had that cleaned up. I mean, they told me when I bought it that they went through everything, which I'm pretty sure they did, the way the looks of it. Okay, I'm guessing that little screw, I don't know if you guys can see that, it's supposed to be inside that little screw hole over on the side. This thing's just kind of sitting on top, doing nothing. So maybe I'll get that attached. And of course I don't have a socket that fits the spark plug. I mean, that certainly would help. This little limited array right here doesn't do a whole hell of a lot, so I'll have to get that figured out. And I can't believe a lot of the original parts, it still has the original muffler cover and the bolts. The air intake is all good. Wow. Everything's looking great down here, but why it doesn't run, I have no idea. I'm pretty much at the end of my to-do. I guess I could find a spark plug socket for that, which would just basically get the spark plug out. It has spark, it does run when it wants to, but there's something else, gremlins going on inside there. So I'm kind of at my end of checking things out. I am getting the battery recharged again. But yeah, after this, I think it might go down to a local mechanic and see what they can do to get her to crank over. Probably going to order another battery, but again, the battery shows 13.1 or 2 volts after I get it charged up. And I was cranking on it a lot yesterday, and it went down to 12, you know, after trying to crank on it for about 10 or 15 minutes, and about 10 or 20 different times. And now it won't even start when I kickstart it, so I don't have a clue. I'm at the end of my wits here. Have to get a professional to take a look at her and get her going, I guess. You know, I'd like to pull these gas lines off and see if the gas is running through the petcock there, but the thing is, as you can see, they're professionally zip tied, so I'm not going to get into cutting those off right now. So anyway, it is what it is. Okay, so I ran on a DIY. I got a 10-piece spark plug wrench. You've got different sizes on both ends like that, I tell you. I think that'll work. We'll get that spark plug out and we'll take a look at it. Well, it looks like it's going to take the biggest size I've got. So let's get that thing out of there. Tell you, holy cow, they had that thing in there tight. Unbelievable. Of course, here in Thailand, Christ, they tighten everything up. Oh, what do we got going here? Get it out in the sunshine. Yeah, she's a little carboned up. Okay, got the spark plug out. She's looking a little carboned up. I think a new spark plug would probably work out pretty good for me. And the gap seems to be a little high. It should be about 22, 24. Talking to a friend of mine, he thinks it's around 30 or so. So yeah, off the Honda, get a new plug. Okay, I've had the battery on repair. It's on 13.6 volts. Okay, so I went down to the local shop, got myself a, that looks a heck of a lot better than the one I took out, don't it? Got myself a new spark plug, a whole 55 baht. Anyway, you guys might laugh at me, but you know, my working outside, I don't work on stuff a whole lot too much in the morning. It's nice and cool here, but now it's about 2:30 in the afternoon, and see that sunshine starts creeping up. And when the sun starts coming down this way here, it gets pretty warm over here in my work area. So okay, I got enough time. I'll put the battery back in, and then I'll see if I got some spark on this spark plug, and we'll see if that does any good today. Now I'm just gonna snug that spark plug down just a little bit. She was pretty jammed in there before. Okay, let's check it out here. I don't have a holder for my GoPro, so I'll just do it like this. Turn on the switch. Oh, holy crap, a new spark plug. Night and day. all that messing around, and all she needed was a spark plug. Hell of a deal. Well, all I got to do is put the pieces back on, which isn't all very hard. A couple of screws, battery cover. I'll get her back button back up. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed the video and my adventures with the Gyro Up 2-stroke 50cc, so let's see how long it'll last. But man, putting that spark plug in made all the difference. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe. It's starting to get hot out here, guys, as I told you before. So anyway, I got to get this done and get in the house and maybe have myself a cool beverage. You guys have a good one. I'm happy I got her to go. Yeah, well, good riddance to bad rubbish. In the trash you go. Let's go for a run. 94 is a little bit busy today. Yeah, she's running like a champ. Yeah, let's check out Sassy May. Ooh, she looked busy. Let's go see what's going on. She had a lady come in to do hair straightening today. So how long have you been waiting on hair straightening? 6 hours? 5 hours. 4 hours. Yeah. Anyway, I got the bike fixed. Need a new spark plug. You know spark plug? No. Okay, I'll show you. Well, she ran pretty good on the way over here. I'm going to drive it around a little bit more, give it a shakedown run, make sure it doesn't peter out on me, stuff like that. So, but hey, replacing that spark plug seemed to be the way to go.